Hi guys, welcome to today's video. I am so frustrated and upset because I had recorded 2 videos prior to this and they were all recorded in slow-mo. So those are scrapped. So this is the start of a new video. Hopefully, I'm not recording in slow-mo right now. We're just gonna move along. Yeah, so here I am in my towel. Today's video is we're gonna see if I can finish my TBR for April. Currently, I am reading Empire of Storms. I am on page number 591. I have already started this video and obviously it was all in slow-mo, so you didn't get to see me read any of it. You'll see me read like a little tiny chunk. But basically, so far, I'm loving this book. It's probably gonna be 5 stars. I'm just super annoyed and frustrated right now, so I'm probably just gonna sit down and read. I just finished a puzzle. Here she is. Yep. So let me show you the other books that are left on my TBR. I only have 4 after Empire of Storms, but we only have 6 days of the month left, so it'll be a challenge. So first of all, I have Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I then have A Fragile Enchantment by Allison Saft. I then have Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. And lastly, I have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. For some reason, I'm really not in the mood for this. I've never been in the mood for it ever. And I think it's just because I know it's a cozy fantasy and I don't really like cozy fantasy. I like high stakes, but we're gonna read it, so that's that. I'm gonna head out, start reading this. It's 7:57. So I have about 30 minutes until I have to leave for work, and I am not in the mood for work today, but I will do it because I need to. And yeah, I finished the book and I literally just sat there and cried through the last 20 pages. It's just an emotional series. Like you're so emotionally invested by this point, and it's just like a lot, you know what I mean? So I loved it, 100% giving this 5 stars. I love this series. I'm already thinking about like my reread and how I'm gonna love it so much when I reread this series, because while you're reading this for the first time, it gets kind of confusing. Like you're 6 books deep, there's so many people to remember, and I have to like jog my memory like a bunch of times trying to remember like, okay, who's this person, who's this person? So I feel like when I do a reread, it's gonna be even better because I'm gonna like have a grasp on who these people are. And yeah, it's just, oh my gosh. Sarah J. Maas is known for her last 100 pages just being absolutely crazy. And she did not let me down with this one. I had an amazing time, and yeah. I'm gonna move on to reading Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. Let me just read to you a little bit about, okay, you know what? I don't think there's an actual synopsis in here. But basically on the back it says, when legendary R&B artist Corey Fields spots Enchanted Jones at an audition, her dreams of being a famous singer take flight. Until Enchanted wakes up with blood on her hands and zero memory of the previous night. Who killed Corey Fields? So basically this is just about a girl named Enchanted who is like an up-and-coming singer, and some kind of traumatic things happen to her. Maybe this Corey Fields guy is not a great person, and I don't know. I've seen like some people read this and everyone rates this really highly. They just say it's a hard read. So I am nervous for that, but I don't know. I read Binding 13 and that is like the most trauma-filled book ever, so I feel like I can handle this. But yeah, we're just gonna get straight into this. Let's pick out a bookmark to use. My husband got me these bookmarks. He literally just looked up online aesthetic bookmarks or whatever. for my birthday, and he got me a pack, and there's I think 30 in here. And so I just like pick out a new one each day. I've already gone through the entire pack because I read a lot. So today we're using this cute one. It's just like a shadow of a rose. I'll give you an update when I have gotten a little bit into this one. It is later in the night on, what day is it? Thursday night. And I have just taken my second bath of the day. I don't normally take 2 baths in a day, but today just felt like it. And I read a good chunk of Grown. I'm on page number 139 now, so I got a good bit into this. My thoughts so far, this is a very, I would use the word disturbing book, because it just portrays a 17-year-old girl who, she just really wants to be a singer, so she goes to this audition for this thing that's kind of like the American Idol, and she does not make it in, but this really, really famous man who is 28 years old, he hears her singing and he's like, oh, I really love your voice, I want to give you like private singing lessons. And he like gives her his phone number, and they start texting and stuff. And it's just really, like, you can tell it's just wrong and like inappropriate for him to be doing all this stuff. And he says stuff like a typical groomer would say, like, you're so mature for your age, and like, don't tell anyone about us texting because it's just gonna be our thing, it's our special thing, and blah, 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 blah. And it's just, it really is uncomfortable and disturbing to read, but it is really a great book so far. It's just hard to read. I plan on finishing this book tomorrow. I think I can definitely do that. And then I'm gonna need a fun, lighthearted read after this, so I'll probably pick up Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. But yeah, that's what's going on. It's time for me to go to work. Before I do, I literally just finished this like 5 seconds ago, and oh my gosh, it was so good. The ending is insane. I really love this book. I think I'm gonna give it 5 stars. Yeah, that feels right. It was so good. Oh my gosh, so satisfying. And I don't know, it's just, it really focuses on the fact that like Black women like aren't taken seriously when they like make claims that someone has hurt them or like assaulted them in any way. And it takes like dozens of women to come forward before it's actually taken seriously. And oh, it was just so good. So good. So 5 stars. I'm gonna go to work now, and then I'm gonna come home and start reading Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I've got a couple of fun little updates. So I have started Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, and I love the cover of this. I think that's so cute. I got the Barnes & Noble special edition, so it has like these fancy little edges there. I am not far into this. I'm about, let me take a look, 30 pages in, and my thoughts so far is I'm liking this a lot better than I thought I would. It's almost reading like a classic to me. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but I feel like I read Pride and Prejudice, and I kind of am getting like the wording and stuff is kind of like that. And it's so far it's a good read. It's really cute, really fun. So basically Emily Wilde is writing an encyclopedia of fairies, and she like, I think she maybe is like a professor at Cambridge or something. Cambridge? Yes, okay, anyway, sorry. So she's a professor at Cambridge, and she's writing this encyclopedia of fairies, and she has these fairies she needs to do research on. So she goes to live in like the land that the fairies live in, and she is meeting some people. She has a really hard time with meeting people and getting along with them, not because she's mean or anything. It's just because she doesn't know how to read people well. She doesn't really know how to keep a conversation going, and I have been relating to this so much. Like, she was having this conversation with this guy and eating breakfast with him, and she's like, I know I should say stuff like, how's your day going? like, what line of work are you in? But I don't know how to ask that, so I'm just gonna stay silent. And I was like, me too. That is exactly how I feel. I have such a hard time speaking and having conversations with people. It's just something I really struggle with. And I was like, I completely understand this. And yeah, so we have had a little glimpse at the love interest, Bamblebee. He also is a professor at Cambridge, and I think he like sent her a letter, and in it he insinuated that he was gonna come visit her. And she's like, oh my gosh, no, like I don't want him to come visit me. But yeah, it's been super cute so far. Good morning. It is Saturday morning now at 9:20 a.m. I woke up this morning and I finished Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. And my thoughts on this are, I think it was good. I think it was really good and it was a cute story. I'm just not much of a cozy fantasy reader. The only one that I've truly loved is The House in the Cerulean Sea, and that one was just so amazing. But I do think this was amazing. I wish I would have read it in the winter time, but alas, I did not. I thought that the little subplot of romance was really cute, and it was very magical and whimsical, and I loved that element. It just was not exciting enough for me, but I think I'm gonna rate this, I don't know, maybe 3.5 stars, I think. Anyways, I finished this. We are done with that. I think the next book I'm gonna be reading is Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, because I don't want to go from a little cozy fantasy into another little fantasy. So we're gonna do Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And I have loved every Jennifer Lynn Barnes book that I've ever read. She's one of my favorite authors. She's my favorite YA author of all time. And I'm really excited to get into this one. It is Monday now, and I didn't film at all over the weekend. And I kind of barely read over the weekend also, just because on Saturday I like hung out with Faith a lot, and then I don't even remember what happened the rest of the day. I just didn't read that much. And then Sunday I hung out with my family, and then I read a bit of a book. And so let's just talk about these books. Well, actually, first of all, let me tell you about my weekend. So I hurt both of my feet, and it's so stupid. And now I get to go to work for longer than I normally do today. But yeah, it's just stupid, and yeah. But let me give you a reading update. So in Little White Lies, I am up to page 50 exactly. So I didn't read that much of this, not because I didn't like it. I'm actually really enjoying this one, but because I just suddenly got in the mood to read A Fragile Enchantment. It's very interesting. I'm really enjoying it, but I put this down for now because I wanted to read A Fragile Enchantment. I wish they did something with the naked hardback, but it's just like that, and it has like green lettering. But this one I got up to page 152 so far this morning, and I'm really enjoying this one. It is about this girl whose name is Neve. Sorry, I'm like dealing with allergies. But anyways, it's about this girl named Neve. She's from this place that has not been treated well by like the royal family. But our main girl Neve does have magic. She's able to show feelings and emotions into garments, and so that is what she's doing. She is basically called upon by the king, or not the king, it's called the Prince Regent, I think, because he's not actually the king, but he's like in place of the king. Anyways, she's called by him because his brother, Prince Christopher, aka Kit, is getting married, and he wants Neve to make all of Kit's garments leading up to the wedding, and then he wants her to make Kit's bride-to-be. He wants Neve to make her dress and make Kit's suit and everything. So she's like, my family is pretty much destitute at this point. If I don't do this, I'm not going to be able to provide for them. And if she does this, she's going to be able to stay in the land where the king lives and open up a little shop and sell her clothes and stuff. So she decides to do this, and then she meets Kit, and he is just mean. But I like him. And they're warming up to each other so far. It's definitely like an arranged marriage deal going on with Kit. So he's like, they don't want to get married, but they have to for their lands and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, it's just like your typical cute little romantasy, but I just love the element of sewing the feelings into the clothes. It's really beautiful. It is very much like Bridgerton, but just set in a fantasy world, because it's just like set in the same like time frame. I don't know how to say that. In the same era as Bridgerton, and they even have this lady, she makes like a gossip column and she's anonymous, and so it's just like that in Bridgerton. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this one. What time is it? It is 8:10. I have to leave for work at 9:30. So I think I'm gonna go brush my teeth and continue getting ready, and hopefully I'll be done by like 8:30, and I'll have like a solid hour to read. Welcome to the final day of this vlog. If I don't finish these books today, I am going to be a big fat failure. So let me tell you where I'm at with these books right now. So Little White Lies. Little White Lies. I am at page 70. I took this to work yesterday and I read on my break. So I have approximately like 320 pages left. Okay, yeah. And then for A Fragile Enchantment, last night I got up to page 276, which means I have about 100 pages left in this one. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. I have a couple things I need to do today. I mean, I don't need to do one of them. The first being, today is obviously the last day of April, and in May I'm going on a month-long book buying ban. So, of course, today I want to go to Half Price Books and get my fix before I can't buy books for a long time. And then I do have to go over to my parents' house and clean their bathrooms, which would probably take like an hour. But I don't know when I want to do that. My feet are killing me after my 7-hour shift yesterday, and they're just kind of bruised and hurting. But yeah, that's what we got going on. I wanted to wake up at 6:30, but when the alarm went off at 6:30, I was like, heck no, I'm not doing this. So I just let myself sleep until I naturally woke up, which was at 8. So it is 8:30 now. Half Price Books opens at 10, and I would love to get there at 10. So I think I'm just gonna brush my teeth and then start reading one of these books. I don't know which one I want to continue reading for this hour. We'll see. I'm kind of stressing about it, even though it's literally, I'm the only one putting pressure on myself, but I just will literally feel like a failure if I don't do this. And I don't know, I'm just really excited for my May TBR. It's so pretty. And so I just want to get these done so that I can move on to my May TBR. And I did put the second book to this. I put that on my May TBR. So yeah, that's the update I have for now. I know this video isn't like super exciting or anything. It's not like a reading vlog. I'm just literally updating you on if I can complete my TBR, but I hope you're still enjoying it. Maybe? I don't know. This is like a kind of video you put in the background of things, you know? We have officially finished A Fragile Enchantment. Overall, I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was so cute, and I don't even know. I just really liked it. I thought it was so sweet, and the drama was good. Finding out who like the mystery gossip columnist was really fun. Yeah, I just had a really good time reading this. It definitely was like Bridgerton, but fantasy. It was so much better than Bridgerton because there wasn't 2 million spice scenes in it. But yeah, this is a YA, but it does have one scene that I was like, this is not YA. But it was only like one short scene. But yeah, other than that, it was so amazing. I really like this. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I think it's a really great read, and I totally recommend it. And now I'm going to go take a bath and start reading, or I guess continue reading Little White Lies. I have made it to page 200. Wow! That's all. That's the update. I don't have anything else to say. I just want to say I am halfway through the book now and still absolutely loving it and eating it up. And it's only 4 o'clock, so I'm 100% going to be able to finish this today. I'm probably going to go eat something right now. A little hungry. But yeah, that's the update. Halfway through. I did it! I completed my entire April TBR this year. I cannot believe it. And let me tell you, what a banger to end off with. This had such an insane ending. It literally had so many twists and turns. I didn't know where we were going. But yeah, it was sometimes a little hard to follow along, but then I just like would reread a little bit and be like, okay, I know where we're at. I know where we're at. It was so good. I am rating this 4.5 stars. I thought this was actually incredible. And I feel like I'm just gonna immediately jump into the next one because I don't want to forget anything. But yeah, I did it. I finished my TBR. Thank you so much for believing in me. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.